Hi everyone! In this video I'll be reviewing the OPI XBOX collection, which is OPI's release for spring 2022 and is a collaboration with Microsoft Xbox. The collection consists of 12 shades in total, with 6 creme formulas and 6 specialty finishes. I think the collaboration between OPI and Xbox is really interesting and fun, and I love both nail polish and gaming. And Xbox is my most used console, but there are a few things about this collection I find a bit puzzling, and ways in which I wish it had gone a little bit further, which I'll discuss later in the video. But first I'm going to show video swatches of each shade, so let's get started. First up is the Pass is Always Greener, a very pale yellow-green creme shade. The formula on this polish is actually quite impressive, especially for this type of colour. It's nice to work with, and it's opaque in 2 coats. Next we have Trading Paint, a medium pastel orange creme polish. This swatch was fully opaque in 2 coats, but I found that sometimes I would get some patchiness and need a 3rd coat. This shade dries a little darker or more saturated than it looks in the bottle. Next up is Suzi is My Avatar, a pinky peach shade that I really like for spring, and I think is just very wearable as an everyday, not too out there colour. This polish was opaque in 2 coats for me. Next up is Racing for Pinks, which is a creme formula in a warm pink shade, and it's definitely the type of pink that OPI makes a lot. I was slightly disappointed to find that it wasn't fully opaque in 2 coats and had some patchiness, and I needed a 3rd coat for full coverage. It also dries very slightly darker than it looks in the bottle. Next we have Achievement Unlocked, which is a pretty lavender shade in a creme formula. I like this polish a lot. It's really easy to work with, and it's fully opaque in 2 coats. The last of the creme shades is Newberry, a warm medium purple creme shade which is nicely pigmented and is fully opaque in 2 coats. I like this shade a lot, and I think it fits the gaming theme really well while being a great spring colour, but I'll come back to that later in the video. Next up is Quest for Quartz, a pinky taupe creme with micro silver flakies. This is quite a nice neutral polish with a sophisticated sparkle, and is a little more of an office appropriate shade if that's important to you. I needed 2 coats for full coverage. Next is Pixel Dust, a pink jelly base with larger silver flakies that overall has a cool metallic finish. This is another shade that I think works really well with the theme. 2 coats didn't quite give me the coverage I was hoping for, so I needed 3 coats. Next up is Heart and Console, a red jelly with a gold shimmer. The shimmer flakes sometimes look orange and even pink depending on the light, which makes for quite an interesting overall effect. The only downside for me is that it still wasn't totally full coverage after 3 coats, as I could still see my nail line through the polish, but under normal everyday light it's really not that noticeable. Next we have Can't Control Me, a lovely sky blue shade that has a tiny amount of shimmer in it, but honestly the shimmer is almost invisible once it's dried, so this mostly reads as a creme shade once it's on the nails. I also ended up needing 3 coats for full coverage with this polish. Next up is Sage Simulation, a pale, slightly green-tinged blue colour with a greenish shimmer in it. I love the effect of the shimmer in this polish, and I almost wish that we actually got a combo of this polish and the previous one. A more sky blue base shade with the greenish shimmer would have been a great overall effect, I think. I needed 3 coats for full opacity, but this might depend on your application, and if you have shorter nails, you'll probably be fine with 2. Finally, we have You Had Me at Halo, which in my opinion is the star of this collection. It's a cool purpley blue jelly base with a mix of silver and blue shimmers in it, and I think it was a great choice for this collaboration with Xbox, as I feel like this kind of colour reminds me of loads of different video game elements. I needed 3 coats for full coverage. So here's all the polishes side by side. I definitely think this is a great colour combination for spring. However, it's a bit less obvious to me how all of these colours are inspired by Xbox. I'm not exactly sure what I would expect from an Xbox themed nail polish collection, but I don't think pastel rainbow is what I would have gone for. As I said earlier, You Had Me at Halo is a very cool shade. It's got a futuristic metallic look that would fit in with loads of video games. It's also kind of reminiscent of Cortana in Halo, and also kind of reminds me of Ori. Newberry is also a fantastic colour for a gaming themed collection. To me, it totally represents the colour of corruption kind of purple that's used in tons of games. And as an aside, I would very much recommend checking out this video essay by Rasputin, which explains more about how purple is used to represent evil and corruption in video games. I've put the link down in the description. Other shades in the collection that I think fit the theme really well are Pixel Dust, which has a really cool shattered metallic effect, which I think fits in with loads of video game aesthetics, and reminds me of some of the artwork in Minecraft Dungeons, which is one of my favorite games. And of course, red is a must-have color when thinking about video games. It represents health, enemies, danger, and this shade, Heart and Console, is the perfect vibrant red to represent all of these game elements. Now, while I like having pastel shades for spring, I just have a hard time linking these to gaming. And I wish that overall the collection had more saturated colors, which I think would be a better fit to the theme and still fit well within a spring colorway. If it were me picking colors, here are some ideas that I would have considered. I would have liked to see a warm gold polish. This kind of warm golden color is so commonly used in the background of games, and making it metallic could make it representative of treasure, rewards, and various weapons that are used in games. Overall, I think more metallics would have been a nice addition to a gaming themed nail polish collection. The biggest missed opportunity of the shade selection, in my opinion, is that there is no Xbox green. It's a bit ironic that an Xbox themed collection has only 1 green polish, but has 3 blue polishes, and okay, none of these are PlayStation Blue, but it's just so weird to me to have not included the classic Xbox green, which I think would fit in perfectly in a spring collection. My pick would have been a base of Xbox green with a bright green shimmer throughout. I think that would have been super cool in this collection. So that's the polishes themselves, but another aspect of this collaboration I'd like to talk about is the marketing. I think it's awesome to link nail polish and gaming, especially as we see gaming becoming so mainstream and less associated with silly stereotypes about what gamers are like. Depending on the country you're in, it was possible to get in-game content when buying polishes from this collection. So for example, in the US, you could get a custom colored armor for Halo when buying from Amazon, or a custom car color for Forza Horizon 5 when buying from Ulta Beauty. However, the marketing for this was kind of vague in places, and so quite a few gamers bought polishes from one retailer expecting to get a code from one game, but ending up with the other. In the UK where I am, if you buy 2 products and upload your receipt to OPI, you can claim either the Halo skin or the Forza skin. Given that I bought all 12 polishes in one transaction, I was a bit disappointed to find that I could only choose one of these 2 rewards, which feels unnecessarily stingy given that they surely cannot cost that much for Microsoft to give out. I chose the Halo armor because it's stunning and I actually play Halo, and although the car color is really cool, I don't really play racing games. But here it is. The biggest missed opportunity of all was these custom OPI XBOX controllers. The OPI XBOX Collection PR package, as well as OPI's general advertising for the collection, include these really pretty pastel gloss finish controllers matching some of the collection shades. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, where can I buy these? And I was not the only one. But totally bizarrely, these are not available to buy anywhere. There have been a few giveaways featuring these controllers, but otherwise most people aren't going to be able to get their hands on them. It's also not possible to make them on Xbox Controller Labs, at least that I can see. So I feel like these would have been super popular, and it's a shame that they weren't released alongside the nail polish collection as a limited edition controller. So overall, I love the concept of this collection. I think some of the polishes are excellent, and I'd like to see more collabs like this. I think they could have been a little more generous with the in-game content that comes with buying polishes from the collection, and I definitely think it would have been awesome to be able to buy those custom OPI Xbox controllers that match the collection shades. Regarding that last point though, I have plans to use these polishes to customize my own Xbox controller, so subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to see that video. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the collection, so let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.